Have you ever looked around and wondered, why does everyone seem to have a group, except me? You scroll through social media and see birthdays full of people, vacations with friends, endless laughter. Then you look at your own life. Maybe you have one friend, maybe none, and a question quietly appears. Is something wrong with me? But what if having few friends doesn't always mean you're lonely? What if it's a sign that you're living differently than most people? Today we're exploring the psychology behind people who have very few friends, and why being alone isn't always the same as being lonely. From childhood, we're taught that popularity equals success. The kid with the biggest friend group is admired. Movies celebrate large circles. Social media rewards visibility. Without realizing it, we begin measuring our value by how many people stay around us. But here's the truth. Friendship is not a numbers game. You can have hundreds of contacts and still feel completely invisible. And you can have one person who truly understands you and feel deeply connected. Psychologists call this the difference between social quantity and social quality. One is about numbers, the other is about meaning. The human brain craves genuine connection, not endless interaction. Some people naturally enjoy constant social interaction. Others prefer depth over frequency. If you're someone who asks difficult questions, who enjoys meaningful conversations more than small talk, who spends hours reflecting on life, you may naturally have fewer friends. Not because people dislike you, but because your mind searches for compatibility rather than company. Philosophers throughout history often lived relatively solitary lives, not because they hated people, but because thinking deeply requires silence, and silence is becoming rare. Many deep thinkers don't avoid people, they avoid superficiality. People often confuse these two words. Loneliness is wanting connection and not having it. Solitude is choosing your own company without feeling empty. The outside may look identical. One person sits alone because nobody invited them. Another sits alone because they finally found peace. The difference isn't the room, it's the relationship with yourself. If you cannot enjoy your own company, no crowd will permanently solve that emptiness, because loneliness often begins inside, not outside. Real friendships demand honesty, but honesty isn't always comfortable. People who set healthy boundaries, who refuse to gossip, who don't pretend to fit in, often lose connections, not because they're bad people, but because authenticity filters relationships. Imagine pouring dirty water through a filter. Most of it disappears, only what is clean remains. Your values work the same way. Every boundary removes people who only like the version of you that was easy to control. Sometimes losing people isn't failure, it's clarity. Modern life constantly competes for your attention. Notifications, messages, opinions, noise. But people who spend time alone often develop something increasingly rare: the ability to hear their own thoughts. Creativity grows in quiet. Self-awareness grows in quiet. Confidence grows when your identity no longer depends on constant approval. Many artists, scientists, writers, and innovators spent long periods alone, not because isolation creates genius, but because uninterrupted thinking creates original ideas. Silence isn't empty, it's where your mind finally speaks. Having fewer friends doesn't mean you should isolate yourself forever. Humans still need connection, but meaningful relationships are built slowly, not collected quickly. Instead of asking, "How can I make everyone like me?" ask, "Who can I be completely honest with?" The strongest friendships aren't based on entertainment. They're built on trust, respect, growth, and mutual understanding. One real friend who stays through difficult times is worth more than 50 acquaintances who disappear when life becomes inconvenient. The world may count followers, likes, contacts, and popularity, but your life isn't measured by how many people know your name. It's measured by how deeply you're understood. If you have few friends, don't immediately assume something is wrong. Ask yourself, do I have peace? Am I becoming someone I respect? Am I creating space for relationships that are real? Because in the end, it's better to walk with a few genuine souls than to get lost in a crowd that never truly sees you. If this message resonated with you, remember this. Your worth has never been determined by the size of your circle, only by the authenticity of the life you choose to live. Thanks for watching. Until next time, stay curious and keep thinking deeply.